The plot of the Russell Wilson saga is thickening like a delicious Christmas time stew. And like all of the news of this week, I need your help, Broncos Country, getting to the bottom of how do we feel about Russell Wilson's response. He had his first public statements via X or Twitter, plus just some stuff that he has liked and some rumors about things that he has leaked to the media. So like all of this news, it has dragged me both ways, from being on Russell's camp totally to being in Sean Payton's camp, and I don't know what the truth is. I don't know truly who is at blame here. I don't know if Russell Wilson's response showed just an incredible level of humility, or if there's like a deep-seated cockiness, and I should be angry at him for costing us 2 years of meaningful football. So let's dive in here and take a look at all of this. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben, and usually I break down the Denver Broncos and sports and all of that. It helps me out if you would like and subscribe. So the first piece of news here is the first statement Russell Wilson was able to make on this publicly was this right here: God's got me, looking forward to what's next. On the surface, mad props. Like I like it. There's been a lot of shade. Obviously, this has to be one of the low points of his career. So to just be like, hey, I'm looking forward to what's next, this isn't weighing me down. I think there is a level of humility in that is really admirable. I like that he is not depending on his own strength, but looking outward, looking to his Lord and Savior for strength. That is incredible. And if you juxtapose that response to the response of just the last two quarterbacks who we've had in this same situation, even though seemingly they were good dudes as well, you just see a level of humility from Russell Wilson. And this is why he is the fan favorite. This is why you see a lot of threes in the stadium. This is why you see him opening stores and people flocking to it. And so you see that he just a massive difference between how he responded and others. If you watch Netflix's show The Quarterback, you saw Marcus Mariota, who probably unfairly was benched for a younger Desmond Ridder, and he literally leaves the city. He and his wife flee from Atlanta at the time, and I think they go to Vegas where he was living. And everyone said he quit on his team. There was just so much drama about Marcus Mariota leaving. And if you look at very similarly when Derek Carr was informed that he would no longer be the Raiders starting quarterback for Jared Stidham, who is now going to be the Broncos starting quarterback our final 2 games, you see very similarly that Derek Carr asked permission to leave. So Russell Wilson did not ask for permission to leave. And very differently, he was suiting up yesterday as a backup. So to me, like, that's just very above board. Russell Wilson, like, look at you, man. You are not quitting on the team. You're not being a diva. You're going way above board. Well, here is where the plot thickens. Here's where it's like, well, is that totally right? Because Russell Wilson also has done some stuff that makes me feel like he's been kind of petty in this entire situation. All of that starting with, look at this. So if you just go to Russell Wilson's X page, his Twitter page, it is very public what you like. And if you are a celebrity, I know it's popular now. Everyone's like, well, you can't read into what people like. Well, everyone knows if you are a celebrity, you got to be incredibly careful with the like button. And there might be a very rare occurrence where you like something and you didn't mean for that to be public. But if you look here, Russell Wilson actually gets paid by brands to like certain pages. And so he knows better than anyone else that his likes mean something. So first off, one of the people who came to his response and actually lambasted and just threw Sean Payton under the bus like crazy and said that Sean Payton embarrassed him and was a horrible coach. Look at this. Robert Griffin tweeted, Sean Payton has been doing Russell Wilson dirty since the minute he became the Broncos head coach. Well, Russell Wilson is liking tweets knowing that is an endorsement of that opinion. And I think if I look at this objectively, if Sean Payton truly wanted to move on from Russell Wilson from the jump, we would have done this when we were 1-5, and we would have done this and gotten Caleb Williams. We would have if truly he didn't believe in Russell Wilson, he never would have given him a chance, and he would have benched him at 1-5. So I think Russell Wilson liking this is kind of a petty move. I truly do. Now, the other thing that I think is even more petty is yesterday, one of the things that made the Broncos look the absolute worst was the report from Bleacher Report. And that report said that earlier on in the season, right after our win on Halloween against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Broncos approached Russell Wilson and told him they wanted him to take out the injury clause of his contract. Well, that report came out yesterday from this guy right here, whose name is Jordan Schultz. His dad is the owner of Starbucks, a Seattle dude who is linked very closely to Russell Wilson's entire posse. Do you remember when we first got Russell Wilson last year and his whole posse was on the sideline for every Broncos game, and he had his quarterback coach and his nutritionist was cooking for Russ, and he basically was running the show, and it wasn't Nathaniel Hackett. There are people in that posse very, very closely connected with Jordan Schultz. So the fact that this story leaked, this story broke about that, shows that Russell Wilson or people in Russell Wilson's camp were the ones who leaked that story to the media. So if you are being all above reproach and here it is, I'm not worried about the future, God's got me, I'm right in this whole situation. Well, he's then doing this petty thing of leaking stuff to the media. And so there are obviously two very drastically different stories here. And so the big question I have is what does Russell Wilson's public response make you think is going to happen for Russell Wilson long term? We know that we owe Russell Wilson a bunch of money next year unless we find a trade partner for him. We also know that part of the deal that hasn't even kicked in yet, which is kind of the most disturbing part of this, is we haven't even started paying Russell Wilson this mega deal that we have to, and now it's starting and we cut him. But part of it that's even worse than just the amount of dead money is that he has a no trade clause as well. So even if the Broncos scrounge around and are able to find the Washington Commanders and find a sweetheart deal, find a team who can pick up his deal so that we don't have that dead cap money, unless Russell Wilson agrees to go to that place, he will not go. And so you could truly see a situation here where if Russell Wilson does not help us out, we are in big, big trouble as a Broncos organization. Because what Russell Wilson could do is wait until we cut him and then he goes on waivers, and any team that he wants can have him, and that would be a great situation for him. Or he clears waivers and he gets to go sign with whatever team he wants and they pay him next to nothing. And so I think we really are relying on Russell Wilson being a good person here and not holding that no trade clause over our head. But Broncos Country, weigh in on the comments. Are you happy with Russell Wilson's public response, or are you disappointed in the fact that he most certainly leaked that story about the Broncos approaching him to change his deal? And he definitely is going through and liking tweets that make Sean Payton look less than the ideal coach. The other aspect of this that I truly wonder about is just he has this real humble persona, yet he did not agree to open up his contract and negotiate it. And if you look at someone like a Tom Brady, who probably is the greatest of all time other than Peyton Manning, you can't say that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time on a Broncos channel. We'll kick you right off here. But one of the things that made Tom Brady so famous was that he made just sweetheart deals with the Patriots so that they could continue to stock up around him. And so here the Broncos come to Russell and say, hey, we got a great coach in place now in Sean Payton. Let's open up part of your contract, take that injury part out, and maybe negotiate some of this money so we can build around you. And he not only does he say no, he then leaks it to the press and shows tries to throw the team under the bus by doing that. So definitely some mixed messages there. Times where I'm happy I have a Russell Wilson jersey and feel really bad for him. and times I'm like, man, he really has set this franchise back. So I don't know how I feel. Got ton more to come. Bizarre news keeps breaking every time I check Twitter, every time I watch a press conference. So I will keep you up to date. As always, please like, and if you could hit that subscribe button like you are one of Sean Payton's players during Bountygate, I'd appreciate it. All right, Broncos Country, catch you soon.